Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today we're going to be talking about Nintendo and its Amiibo problem. As you can see on the screen here, we have this wonderful website called Amiibo Life, which was perfect for what I want to show off in this video today. If you've heard recently, there is this new Zelda and Loftwing Skyward Sword Amiibo coming out for the Skyward Sword HD, which is coming out in a couple months' time, I believe. Anyway, Nintendo decided that they were going to put what you could consider either like a cheat code or a quality of life improvement locked behind this Amiibo, and as we can see here, it says, quickly travel between the surface and the sky. Now, from what I know, because I've never played Skyward Sword HD, but from what I know, you essentially have to travel between land and sky at certain points in the game, and that apparently is fine. Apparently they're not too far away from most places. However, what this Amiibo is doing and why it's causing such a fuss is that you can tap this Amiibo at any point to instantly go back to the sky, go and get items, and then come back to the place where you're doing it, including places like dungeons. Now, a lot of people are up in arms about it because it's Zelda, it's a huge popular franchise, but I actually don't think this is the worst thing that Nintendo have done with Amiibo. And I want to go over a few examples today to show off what I think are actually worse. But I will say this, like, as someone who's not played Skyward Sword, if I was going to play Skyward Sword, I probably wouldn't play it with this Amiibo. I would probably play it the way it was intended and just play the game as is. Now, I get why people are annoyed because, you know, it is a quality of life feature. But do I think it's game breaking? Is it locking exclusive content? I mean, kind of, but in my opinion, it's not that bad. Not compared to some of the other stuff that Nintendo have done with these Amiibo. So, yeah, it sucks, I'm not going to lie, it does suck. But I think there are worse versions, and I kind of want to go over them now as to why, you know, Nintendo have to be very careful with Amiibo. It's okay, like, tapping an Amiibo and giving you, like, a health refill or you know, other kind of items and stuff that are generic items, because that way it's just like, well, it's essentially a cheat, isn't it? You know, in Breath of the Wild, in like Mario Odyssey and stuff like that, like if in Mario Odyssey you can tap Amiibo to like help give you hints, and that's all they do, is they just give you hints. There's no like, they don't do anything else to my knowledge. In like Breath of the Wild, they can drop a chest that will have like crafting ingredients and things, and maybe like items and stuff, so they kind of like easy mode in some ways. I know the Wolf Link one is quite bad, which we'll also look at. But I want to start with where is it? I want to start with Shovel Knight, because they actually did something that I didn't know. But Shovel Knight originally, if we go down, scroll down here, if we click switch Shovel Knight, where is it? Oh, it's not in the Switch version, is it? It's the Wii U version. Yeah, so back when the Shovel Knight Amiibo came out, it says here they changed it, but before March 2017 update, the Shovel Knight Amiibo was also required to unlock co-op mode. Which was, you know, that's pretty big. Like, a co-op mode behind an Amiibo, which basically meant, I believe, that the Wii U version was the only version you could play with the Amiibo. Now, I can't remember where it is and exactly what it does, but there is also a special mode you can have playing with the Amiibo. If you tap the Amiibo, you get a mode that gives you a bunch of like crazy power-ups, and I'm pretty sure that was with the Amiibo. Yeah, might be the customizable gear here, the unlocked challenge stages and whatnot, but basically I remember you could play like a New Game Plus with the Amiibo and all these powers that were broken, but it was, you know, kind of fun. Now, the fact that they changed that with this 2017 update, that's pretty cool. I believe most versions of the game probably have that now, including the other consoles. But other than that, like, it was a huge bit of content locked behind it. Like, until the update, that's quite big. Now, people probably didn't care because it was an indie game, and they probably just played it single player anyway, but the co-op mode? Like, that's a whole mode locked behind it, you know, so that's kind of, oof. The other things it does is, you know, are fine in my opinion. Like, yeah, I think most of this stuff you can get in game now anyway. I think that if you buy the Shovel Knight Showdown, not Showdown, sorry, the Treasure Trove or whatever it's called, you just get everything. But yeah, they did have stuff locked behind it. Obviously that's changed now, but you know, that's a lot of content. You know, if we want what I think is probably the worst offender of Amiibo, let's go here. Let's look at Splatoon 1, shall we? Access challenge mode stages and beat them to unlock exclusive gear and minigames. Regardless of colour, there are 3 sets of challenges. Now I have Inkling Girl, Inkling Boy, and Inkling Squid, the originals, and I remember this. This did kick up a bit of a stir at the time, but to me, this is the worst offence of Amiibo functionality to date. You know, I think because of what it does. Essentially, you get to do some challenge stages to unlock gear. Now, I'm not saying the gear is any better than the gear you would normally unlock in Splatoon, but that's content locked behind it you cannot get any other way. There is no way to get this content. There's no way to access those challenge mode stages, and there's no way to get those gear. Now, I don't mind Splatoon having maybe 1 piece of exclusive gear per, you know, Amiibo, right? It's just a fun cosmetic thing that might have just the same stats as something else, which might be the case here. I can't remember, but the fact that it's challenge stages and sets, and they unlock sets, this is not okay. This is when it starts becoming essentially paid DLC for like 15, you know, well, they're £12-15 in the UK that you're paying for to get these exclusive items. It's really straddling a very dangerous line, and I think this is not okay. I think Amiibo are best used when they are doing generic things in games, or they do stupid things in games, things that aren't content based, and I think that's where people get very upset with when you have that happen. Splatoon 2, I believe, also has the same issue. If you click on Splatoon 2, you can unlock exclusive gear, save your favourite weapons, gear, control settings, take photos of the character. Look, you get, these are the things you get: school hair clip, uniform, shoes, shelfie song. Now, I don't know, because I haven't played as much Splatoon 2, I don't know if this means you can get these in game. I don't know if there are other ways to get these things. If there are, then this is cool that it's just there, but it does say exclusive gear. So each figure unlocks Amiibo exclusive gear as well as a song or theme, and for the minigame as well. So that's quite a lot of content locked behind 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Amiibo. Again, the likelihood is the gear is just cosmetic for versus other things in the game. But that's a lot of content that you've locked behind. What? I mean, I own those 3, and those 2. But like getting this stuff, like if I had to buy all of this, really, you know, it's a lot of money to get those items, and also it's really hard to get most of these Amiibo anymore because Nintendo just don't make enough of them. So this kind of stuff, like, I think Splatoon has always been the worst case for it. I think, like, that Skyloft Amiibo, Skywing Amiibo in Zelda, like, yes, it's like a quality of life feature, but it is not exclusive content like these are. I think this is not okay. I don't necessarily think the Skywing Zelda Amiibo is good, but I can live without that. Like, you know, the fact that I can't access any of this content, and this is a lot of content. To my knowledge, I cannot access any of this content in Splatoon 2. I have no way of getting it except for having all these Amiibo. That's dodgy, and I don't like that. I think that's not okay to be doing that. What other series was there I was going to look at? Metroid. Yeah, Metroid. Another huge offender. It's something you should not do. Place a Metroid marker, which is fine. After beating the game, unlock Fusion difficulty mode and play with the Fusion suit. You cannot, to this day, get that mode and play with that suit. Like, that's the problem. That's a whole difficulty mode that's clearly in the game, like, ready to be unlocked. But you need that Metroid to do it. That Metroid Amiibo is really hard to come by. It's really expensive now. And that's the problem with these things, is because Nintendo isn't making enough Amiibo for what this functionality is, it's not okay. If you want to do stuff like this, you need a lot, and I mean a lot, of these Amiibo on the market. However, what I think, if you're going to do this, these Amiibo should be used to unlock stuff early. I should be able to play Metroid, Samus Returns. It might be a case of I have to complete it on the hardest difficulty to then get this fusion one. This Metroid amiibo should just let me get that early. And I think that's the thing with these, is I think a lot of these amiibos should have might be like, hey, you get this stuff, you just get it early if you have this amiibo. The rest of it is unlockable in the game. That solves a lot of problems. As it stands, like, this is not okay. Like, you can't have content locked behind these things because they're so hard to get out. There's so many people that probably... I really like Samus Returns. I'd happily play it on a harder difficulty. It's a great game. But you can't... It's just not okay to have things locked behind it like that. What else have we got? We've got... I mean, you've got Super Mario Maker 2, which does something that I think is totally fine, which is to unlock these costumes with all the amiibo. If you tap the amiibo... Sorry, not Super Mario Maker 2. Super Mario Maker, the original on Wii U, if you had loads of amiibo, you could tap to get a bunch of costumes. But I believe you could also get them randomly from playing it. So it was like that. I like that when you have the ability to get stuff early, specific costumes with sound effects and stuff, rather than just, you know, having to go through and unlock them. Fire Emblem. Now I heard Fire Emblem, these two are... Let's have a look. What's it say? What's it say here? Unlock an character exclusive dungeon. Oh, Jesus Christ. Summon an illusionary hero to help during battle. Okay, that an exclusive dungeon. Oh no! Like, again, that's a lot of content. I don't know what the dungeon's like. I haven't played this particular Fire Emblem game, but locking stuff behind that. Oh man, that's never good. What does Tiki do then? Oh, she's exclusive amiibo weapon. Amiibo exclusive weapon. Special battle music. Oh, so she's actually doesn't seem to do... I don't know how bad they are for these. Crom, Tiki. Unlock an amiibo exclusive weapon, receive a weapon. Okay, so I actually don't know how... what exclusive they are, and like I don't know if you can get it in the game, but if it says amiibo exclusive, again, you have to buy this product to get that item. And I imagine, again, it is probably just a graphical reskin or something else, but still, that's frustrating. You're locking content behind these, and like from the Smash series, probably the easiest to get hold of. These, I don't even know. I don't even know about this one. I don't know how easy or hard it is to get. Unlock a special bit of music. So yeah, there's just a Crom amiibo that isn't the Smash Brothers one. See, I have this one, so I've got all the Smash amiibo basically. And Smash's way of dealing with amiibo is fine, because it's just, hey, here's an FP character, hey, here's a random spirit, you know, stuff that you can, all this stuff you can get in the game, and the FP character stuff is completely optional. If you choose, if you want to do that kind of thing, but you can do it with pretty much any amiibo, any character. I'm sure there are other examples on this list. I don't know what some of these ones are like. I think the Dark Souls one just makes you do a salute. But looking at the ones we've gone over, those are the worst examples. And yeah, I don't know what this one does. What's this do? Adds a big mushroom. Oh yeah, it just has it works in a bunch of other games. But yeah, I really don't like... Wow, that unlocks a lot of content. An amiibo exclusive weapon for the character and their rabid counterpart. Jesus Christ, really? Each character and a rabid counterpart has one amiibo exclusive weapon to unlock. These weapons are less powerful than the character's late game weapons, so they're best used. Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world, but still, exclusive content. I don't have a problem with exclusive content being on amiibos if it's... I guess it depends on how it affects the game, right? If it's something like, I don't know, like a customizable item in an RPG that is just purely cosmetic, then fine. But most of the time, the amiibo stuff that you get is usable in some way. With Splatoon, it probably has stats, which, yeah, it might line up with other stuff, but it has stats, it can be used, it might be more powerful than other things, and yeah, it becomes very dodgy and it becomes a grey area. My thought and feelings on amiibo is like, I like them as a concept. I like them in games like Smash, where it's like, here's some money, or like in Zelda, where it's like, here's some hearts, here's some random, you know, food items to use to cook. Stuff that's quite generic that any amiibo can be used to do with. The last one we should probably look at is the Wolf Link one, because I believe that also does something. I don't know about the other one, but this also has something specific. Unlock the Cave of Shadows and save hearts to the amiibo for future use in the cave and Breath of the Wild. So yeah, you have the Cave of Shadows, which is like a challenge dungeon. So again, I don't think there's any way to get this without Wolf Link, which is, you know, pretty crazy. And yeah, it's kind of a problem. And you got, like, this is what I like: get a refill of arrows once per day, per amiibo, once per amiibo. Sorry, get a refill hearts, and then take twice as much damage. Like, whatever. Like, that stuff's fine because, you know, it's just, here's some items. I mean, you don't need it. You can find arrows. You can buy arrows in the game. Same with the hearts. You just find them. But stuff like that, which is like a quick refill, it's like an easy mode. It's like, what other option? You know, that stuff's fine. But when you start putting content behind it, yeah, it's just not okay. So my thoughts and feelings are on this. Like, amiibo themselves are fine. I think amiibo should have functionality. I think there are cool things you can do with the amiibo that don't lock exclusive content and don't make it, you know, you can't get it any other way. I think that is never good, and I think Nintendo is straddling this line. We don't get a lot of amiibo now, and the Loftwing and Zelda one, I honestly believe that not to be that offensive because it's more quality of life. It's still a quality of life improvement. It should be in the game if you're going to do it, or you maybe have it as a toggleable option or something. But compared to the Splatoon stuff, compared to this Wolf Link, compared to the Shovel Knight one before it changed, you know, I think those are the worst offenders because and the Metroid one as well. You're unlocking serious amounts of content behind a piece of plastic that is very hard to get hold of. I think these games, if anything, should have updates and patches to them that unlock this stuff for players. If later down the line you can say, hey, look, you bought the amiibo, you get access to this stuff, I don't know, a month early, 2 months early, but then you're like, yeah, after that it's going to be available to everybody. I think people would be less annoyed by that. Yeah, it would probably tank the sales of amiibo, to be honest, because people are like, well, I'll just wait. But I think there has to be a line, and I think this is a dangerous form of kind of like locked content on discs or locked content like DLC and stuff that I'm not comfortable with. You know, I have a lot of amiibo because I collect them anyway. Like, I like getting them. I like them for the figurines more than their use. They do have uses. I like using them. I've used them in Mario Odyssey. I used them in Breath of the Wild because I could. I thought, hey, why not? You know, but it's still an extra cost on top of the game you're already playing. And if you're being somebody who just like bought the game and then you're suddenly blocked off from like costumes and extra modes and stuff, that kind of sucks. And I don't think that's good business practice. So, all in all, I think this is something Nintendo needs to be very careful going on with the future of these things. At the moment, I don't think the new Zelda and Skyloft amiibo is the worst, and I kind of think it's okay. It still sucks. I'm not going to lie. It still sucks. It's still a thing. But anyone who's buying Skyward Sword HD does not need that amiibo, and they will be able to play through the game and have a great time, and probably, you know, and they don't need the ability to just teleport wherever they want. Essentially, what they're asking you to buy for is a quality of life improvement and or a cheat code. Simple as that. So that's kind of how I look at it. But these other offenders, I think this is much worse, and I don't want to see stuff like this again. Anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble on about Amiibo for a little bit. If you like the video, then hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, then hit subscribe. Links for Facebook and Twitter will be down below in the description, as always. And until next video, I will see you then.